Amanda, 19-year-old Chrissy Schroeder's condition is not being released from the hospital tonight, but friends tell us she was taken into surgery and is now on a ventilator, leaving many to wonder what exactly happened yesterday morning, and more importantly, why would somebody want to hurt her? Keep your eyes on number 10. Back in 2006, Chrissy Schroeder was at the top of her game, playing for the For Calhoun Pioneers in both basketball and track.
Usually saw her happy, smiling. She was really outgoing, really talkative.
4 years later, this is the last place Chrissy's friends would ever imagine she'd end up. Lying in the middle of the road near 40th and Grebe, some 20 miles from her parents' country home. Badly beaten and fighting for her life.
We've heard things from she was on a ventilator, and from assault to rape to a bunch of different stuff.
At this point, the investigation is still in process. We're attempting to determine how the injuries were sustained and how she got to that location.
Neighbors tell us they came out to the crime scene around 7 a.m. and saw the woman lying in the middle of the road, crying and screaming, covered in blood. They also saw a white Alero parked right next to her that also had some blood on it.
We've seen the white Alero, up and down the street, at houses and stuff, but nothing real too bad. Nothing's really happened.
Emilee Allen isn't sure who the car belongs to, but after seeing Chrissy's blood in the middle of the road, she and the rest of the neighborhood want answers.
We just want to know what's going on. Do we need to protect ourselves around here? Because this is a quiet neighborhood. Nothing happens back here. We're secluded.
I would not say that residents of the neighborhood should be scared. Like any crime, we ask for residents in specific areas just to look out, make sure that they're communicating with their neighbors and that they report any suspicious information.
Well, police tell us that white Alero was taken in and processed as evidence. So far, police have not been able to interview Chrissy to find out exactly what happened on Sunday. And if you have any information that could help police catch a suspect, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers at 444-STOP. You don't have to give your name.
We are learning new details about 33-year-old Tracy Brannon. That's the woman police say was stabbed to death by her 21-year-old stepson early Saturday morning. It's a story that is quickly gaining interest halfway around the world. Fox 42's Jenny Nowatzke joins us to explain that story's first tonight on KPTN.
Taylor, we've learned from police that Tracy recently moved from Scotland to the U.S. and married a psychologist. That 60-year-old Harold Brannon this past May. And that's when she became a stepmother to his son, 21-year-old David Brannon. The same man neighbors say stabbed both Harold and Tracy while they were sleeping. A bloody car, bloody shoe, and crime tape sealing off this West Omaha neighborhood leave neighbors in disbelief.
It's shocking. I mean, it's just, I've only seen him a couple times back there, but other than that, it's a quiet neighborhood.
Just before 5 Saturday morning, neighbors saw 60-year-old Harold Brannon pull his wife's body from their home, both covered in blood, suffering multiple stab wounds. Police say Harold's son David was inside and slit his own throat before police were able to stop him.
Officers did have to deploy a taser in order to take David Brannon into control.
All three were taken to the Nebraska Medical Center where Tracy later died. Today, police announced David Brannon will be booked for his stepmother's murder.
He will be charged once he's released from the hospital with the homicide of Tracy Brannon and also with for felony assault on his father, Harold.
Harold has since been released from the hospital, but news of Tracy's death is now spreading internationally. Online newspapers in the UK all tell the story.
We found out that the victim was originally from Glasgow, Scotland. She fairly recently moved to the United States and married Harold Brannon, and because of her recent connection to Scotland, there has been interest in other countries involving this incident.
An incident connecting two countries thousands of miles away.
in the midst of one family tragedy.
Well, we did try contacting Tracy's husband and friends of the couple today, but all declined to talk on camera. Scottish newspapers report Tracy was an assistant head chef at an oyster bar before moving to the U.S. Colleagues describe her as, quote, a good friend who made a major contribution to the success of the oyster bar.
And Jenny, David Brannon, the stepson, he
Yes.
is still in the hospital at this point.
He is. As far as we know, the hospital is not releasing any information on him right now. And also police aren't saying what the motive for these stabbings could be.
That's the question
So
I think a lot of people are asking.
That's the question, exactly.
Yeah. Bizarre story. Okay, Jenny, appreciate that story.
Sure.